everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sneha, and in today's episode I want to share with you some things that I wish I knew before I decided to move to the US to do my master's. So I've been working here for about 6 years now, and after my graduation, during this time I've had so many instances in my life where I felt like, oh my god, I wish I knew this before. I wish I knew this while I was doing my undergrad, so I would have prepared better for these things. I would have had more time to, prepare for these things. And so this is something that I've been regretting a lot, and I don't want others to regret. I want to be able to let them know so that they can start planning about these things in advance. So if this is something that is of interest to you, please keep watching. So the first one is, these times when, times when you have to do, so while you're doing your undergrad in engineering, you have so many opportunities to do projects, and almost not every subject, but almost all the subjects will have an opportunity for you to do work on projects. And most times what happens is people just choose the projects that their friends are working on, or projects that their seniors have passed on to them, instead of really thinking what is it that they really want to work on, what is a cause that matters to them that they want to contribute to. And because these are some things that you need to start thinking of from early on, there are many reasons why this is useful. First thing is, you start thinking inward about the fields that you are interested in, that you would want to grow in. So if you are just copying whatever it is from your friends or from your seniors, then you're not doing that work. You're just, that project is literally of no use for you because you haven't done any work in it. So I think these are very good opportunities to first thing build a connection with your professors. Because when you start thinking inward and start thinking of topics that matter to you, you start having conversation with your mentors and professors on how can you relate that to this project, and how can you use this project to your advantage to learn more about the subject and things like that. You get to have more conversations with your professors because you have so many more doubts, as opposed to just copying something from someone or tagging along with your friend on some project that they've worked completely on. So these are some mistakes that people make, because at that time you just want to get done with it and you just want to get your grades and you want to move on. So don't ever lose opportunities when you get for things like working on projects and working on experiments and things like that. Work on it, give your best, because another reason why you have to give your best is there'll be so many opportunities later in life where you have to talk about the projects that you worked on. Now, if you didn't work on that project, if you just copied it from someone, you will not be able to talk about that project passionately, and people will come to know that you're good for nothing. You've just copied it from someone. People will be able to spot that immediately. So never make that mistake of not giving your best in your projects in your high school or your undergrad days, because I think those are wonderful opportunities for learning and for growth. And use that time to connect with your professors, because your professors will have to give you a letter of recommendation and things like that. Now professors are just so nice that they usually give letter of recommendation even if you haven't really worked with them one-on-one, even if you've just attended their classes. But imagine the kind of recommendation letter they will write for you if you've actually worked with them and if they actually know the kind of a student that you are, because otherwise it's going to be a very generic letter of recommendation. And you know what, there are so many people who send the same kind of recommendation letter, so your recommendation letter is not really going to stand out when compared to the other generic letters. So these are opportunities for you to firstly get passionate about a topic, and secondly to build a rapport with your professors, and thirdly, when you start writing your letter of recommendations and statement of purpose and things like that for your universities, you have a better story to write about. Because you're going to gain so many more experiences while you're doing your research. You're going to learn about yourself, about the topics that you are truly passionately interested in. These are going to help you frame your statement of purpose as well. So don't ever let go of such opportunities. These are goals. Second one is, for example, if you are in the computer science field or anything related to computer science, these days programming is a part of every single thing. I would say learn programming, make it your top priority to learn programming really very well, and work on projects, side projects, to start creating like a GitHub profile and start being active on Twitter, start blogging as fast as you can, because these are things that show your credibility, that you're seriously interested. Now when you go for a job, they know that you are someone that cannot be taken lightly, because you've gone and explored every single thing that you could do as a student. Then imagine what kind of an employee you will be once. So the next one is, for example, if you're working with some technology in your projects or in your classwork or something like that, and if you feel like that technology is going to be of use in the workforce, why not go that extra step and get the certification done, right? Let's take AWS, for example. So if you are working on some projects that's related to AWS, and if you're able to, anyways, you're learning the technology to work on your project, right? You're learning it in and out to complete your project. Why not take that extra step and get a certification in AWS? So that is, you're just building up your profile. At the same time, it's just that extra step. It's going that extra mile forward than everyone else, because everyone else wouldn't even think of, getting a certification or things like that. But then when you're looking for a job, then in the last minute, you're going to like slog, and by then you would have lost touch with what you did in your project. So while you're working on something, if you've invested a lot of time, why not go that extra mile and make it amazing, get a certification, earn it, and put it in your profile. So I think AWS is just an example. If you're working with a lot of networking, then you can get your CCNA certification. There are so many different certifications, like beginner level certifications that's out there that even companies look for, So when you are a new hire straight out of college, or even I don't know how much that matters for masters and things like that. Yes. Even when you come for your masters, right, you start looking for internships, and a lot of times while you're fresh out of college and you've come to the US for your masters, the people competing with you for internships are people with work experience. So they've already had all these certifications or work or actual hands-on work experience. So you're competing with a lot of people. So use your undergrad time to build up your resume in such a way that you can come here, you can do your masters, and then when it's time to look for an internship, your profile is already strong and you know all these things as much as other people who probably have work experience but not everything else, who've not gone that extra mile like you, because you're out there, standing out because of all the awesome things that you've done. So make sure that you go that extra mile, and always remember, so most people who do their masters think, oh, I have 2 more years to think about work experience and try to build up my profile. But you don't really have that much time. You are getting out of here, right out of your engineering, you go for your masters, and after 1 or 2 semesters, you're out there searching for an internship. And trust me, internship is very important. Don't use that time to go back home or anything like that. Use your time to look for an internship and work your ass off, because your internship most of the time will be converted into your full time, and that tension that you're saving for yourself when your internship gets converted into full time is a different. The next one is, when we study GRE and GMAT, we see all these vocabulary words and we'll be like, who even uses these words? I'm just going to study something for the sake of it for clearing GRE, GMAT. No one's going to use this word. But do not let that fool you. People actually use those GRE and GMAT words. So when you're studying vocabulary for your entrance exams, study properly, because they are going to use it, use all these phrases and idioms and things like that in your daily conversations, and start watching movies and TV shows that use good language, and watch the news, because it is not, sometimes, you know, when I listen to people, I'm like, I know that I heard of this word in my GRE while preparing for it, but I've forgotten what it means, because, you know, you don't pay attention because you don't take it seriously at that time. But trust me, take it seriously. Now I'm like going back and learning my words and trying to use them, but I wish I took that seriously. So take those words seriously and learn them and try using them in your words, in your phrases while you're practicing. That way, you know, you don't have to go back and revisit them. You're already right there, all prepared for it. So the next one is, I know that, you know, in school and in college, in undergrad, we are very hyped up about our personal lives, and then we have social media, we talk to our friends on Facebook, Instagram, and things like that. But maintain a parallel track for your professional life as well. Start becoming active on LinkedIn. Build your profile with all the details of what you've been doing. If you're active in your culturals and things like that, and if you have like if you're a board member of your cultural program, or Leo club, or any clubs that you're a part of in college, then take those things seriously, because these are opportunities for you to display your leadership skills, right? And if you're not a part of any of them, I would suggest go become a part of one of those organizations in your college, and try to display your leadership skills, because those are some things that will stand out in your resume when you are looking for a job as a fresher, even for an internship and things like that. All these things will definitely make a big difference. So maintain like a professional social media life as well, and like start using Twitter and LinkedIn to make sure that, you know, you have a profile out there, and you're building your brand identity, you're having your own personal identity as a leader, even as a fresher, you know. So pay some attention to that area of your life as well, and start building that up slowly. So if you know that, you know, you are going to do your master's in the US, if you're hell-bent on that, start talking to your seniors in the different universities ahead of time, because you really want to know what kind of projects these universities are working on, what the financial aid is like, and what kind of job opportunities did these people get, and you know, how, just in general, won't you be curious to see how the teaching is going to be like, because this is a lot of money that you're going to be investing in, so you want it to be the best for yourself, and you know about it only if you talk more with the seniors. And how much rent is it in the cities that you're looking for, because that can also be a, you know, breaking thing for some people, because there are some cities that are super expensive. You will literally have to share rooms with so many people to afford that price, especially when we're students, you know. So these are some things that you can start talking ahead of time. Talk to your seniors and talk to how they frame their statement of purpose and things like that, because the more you talk to them about the projects and things that the university is known for, the more idea you get on where your interest lies and which university you'll be more happy in, you know, and things like that. So make sure that you start the conversation early, and that way you get started, and you have something to keep working on. And the next one is programming. So if you are in a field that requires programming, like electronics and communication or computer science or IT, make sure that you are super good in programming, because I think in undergrad you have so much more time than in masters to come in, you know, polish your programming skills. I know that in EC you don't have too many opportunities to do coding, even in electrical engineering, as opposed to computer science and IT people. So if you are in EC and if you're thinking of moving towards the software side of things, then make sure that, you know, you're taking classes and you're really good at programming, and create like a GitHub account and start working on projects and start building your repositories, you know, for your sample projects and things like that. Do not take that lightly, because programming is highly valued, and you may know a lot of concepts that you've studied in electrical and communication, electrical, electronics and communication engineering and stuff, but you know, you need programming to realize all those things. And in your early stages, no one's going to give you like an architect position or something like that. In the early stages, you have to get in the field by programming. So make sure that you excel in programming, that you are the best coder ever. Just pick one language and just be great at that language. That will definitely be of help to you. Don't let your subjects fool you. Yes, the theory and everything is important, but you have to take that extra effort to be a very good coder. So choose one language and be extremely good at it. So these are some things that I had for you. I know it may sound very boring right now, but trust me, if you do these things, it will definitely make a huge difference in your life later when you look for a job, or you know, trust me, when you get your first internship, you will be super happy. You will be so glad that you did all these things. And I wish you the best of luck, and take care. Thanks for watching.